Well, hello and welcome to Physics Games. Click on the link above if you want to see the previous tips and tricks for beginners. But we continue, and there is our trader about 600 meters away. The first thing I will have to do with you today is tip number 10, and that is spend the 4 points that we have been given on skills. Now, these are only my personal preferences, but I would advise always going with some sexual Tyrannosaurus. This point gives you better stamina usage and better power attacks. I also, unless I'm playing with other people that take this, go for a bit of Master Chef, because this is something needed very early in game to make bacon and eggs and different teas and coffee. Then, of course, depending on the weapon you use, I have on me today decided to keep my wooden club, so I'm going to use Pummel Pete. If you use a stone sledgehammer, then go for a skull crusher, and if you're going for those javelins, then use Javelin Master. Then I have another point. I could sometimes go for a bit of parkour, but this doesn't really do what I want, as in to get high enough when I jump until the second level. So I think I'm going to go for some archery, because I do like using my bows, and this will allow me to craft quality 2 bows and deal a little bit more damage. Oh, just a quick note about Lucky Looter. A lot of people go for this, but this only gives you 5% on top of your game stage. If I press I, we can see that right at the beginning, of course, our game stage is 1. So it's absolutely not worth it until later in game. Tip number 9 comes when we are trying to kill some zombies on the way to the trader. And if you crouch, then when you fire your bow, then you'll find that you will get a sneak damage. And this is often very useful to bring them right down into a low health zone, or in fact, just kill them straight outright. Now, tip number 8 is if you put some stones in your hand and you don't actually want to bother fighting the zombies, we'll hold down left click and throw that stone, and they will chase right after it, getting out of your way. This doesn't affect any animals though, so be aware if you start throwing stones at bears. Tip number 7 is tree stumps. If you find any tree stumps, then certainly break them down with your axe. They give you wood and also a small chance of getting some honey. And honey's used to cure infections from the zombies. As we click on this honey, we can see that if our infection gets anywhere up to 5%, then we can just get rid of it by drinking it. As you are travelling to the trader, you will find some patches that will have flowers in it. Tip number 6 is to collect cotton plants. If you collect a few of these, then you can take them and you can create, with the recipe menu, cloth fragments. And if you do this and get a few of these, then you can turn these into bandages, which can be used to heal yourself. Tip number 5 is also to collect some chrysanthemum. It's just worth having a few on you. You might end up throwing them away if you need to carry something else. But if you put some time and effort and points into making these teas, then these are the ones you really want to get. Now, tip number 4, when you reach the trader, it's worth placing your bedroll down. This is just so if you do die accidentally, then you're not going to spawn all the way back where you came from. If you look at the top of the screen, that bedroll has a marker, so you know where it is, but you'll end up picking this up, and of course you need to know where the trader is. So it's absolutely worth pressing M, finding the trader here, and on the road outside creating a save point so you know always forevermore where that trader is. Tip number 3 is to create a secure storage chest. This only takes 10 wood, and if you place one of those down outside the trader, initially you can use it as a bit of a dumping ground, but long term it's worth having there as you collect things in bulk to sell to the trader. Now you've made it to the trader, it's worth heading inside. Don't forget to close the door behind you, and when you speak to them, you complete your quest. You can also ask them for jobs, and it's absolutely worth picking one straight away, so you're ready to rock and roll. And finally, our number 1 tip of the day is, as you go round the world, you'll be using the menu system quite a lot. This involves hitting tab and then clicking on all the different parts you need, or using different buttons such as M and reaching across the keyboard. But if if you just simply hold and press tab, you'll find everything that you need in a lovely quick menu system. So as I head to my first quest, please like and comment. Of course, subscribe for more funky information, and you will find on this channel lots of other videos too. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.